Mate, we're supposed to be recording the show now, bro.
Oh,
Specifically said 9:30, and it's 9:54, and it looks like you're just like counting batteries in your drawer or something.
I've made a mess. I wasn't ready. I realised the setup, and I was like, it's chaos in front of me because, mate, I was building a watch.
You didn't build that,
I made that.
mate. That looks really nice.
Cheers.
Is that like a magazine subscription? Like if you sign up for like 500 editions, you could have a watch like this.
When you were a kid, did you always want the aeroplane one? You're more of a Warhammer kind of guy, aren't you?
I had a watch just like that I got from a guy in a car park. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tom and Will FPL show.
Yes, we're back.
Welcome back.
Welcome, everyone. We've missed you.
How are you, Will? What have you been up to this last week, mate?
I made a watch. I've been baking some bread. Yeah, I've got a big party this weekend. Mum and Dad's big birthday party at the local. It's gonna be epic. And
nice.
Mum's of a certain age, which I won't disclose, and Dad's birthday is in fact on Saturday when the party is happening, and there's like 100 of us. It's gonna get messy.
Are they the same age, your mum and dad, or was your mum like 10 years younger? Do you know what I mean?
Funnily enough, it's the other way around. My mum is about 6 years older, and she's mum was a smoking hottie back in the day.
Well, she was.
And Billy,
she still is, mate.
But yeah, she's still knocking about. But yeah, and Dad's doing all right. But yeah, no, it's good. It's going to be a big one. It's a big one. Let's put it that way. So,
fantastic.
What about you?
Oh, mate, I can't even remember anything beyond the game last night. If I'm honest with you, it's all just a blur. What a game, mate! The Merseyside derby was feisty. We knew it would be. The last one at Goodison did not let us down. I mean, obviously, as a Liverpool fan, slightly pissed off with the outcome. But it kind of just felt written in the stars, didn't it?
It was amazing. I mean, the wheels are totally falling off Liverpool. It's fantastic.
Shut up, mate. We've had two dodgy results, but mate, we're 7 points clear at the top of the league.
If you do throw it away, I mean, Arsenal aren't doing it because Kai Havertz is now. Well, he's not exactly a goal scoring
Arsenal haven't got any players left.
Yeah, exactly. They've literally got nothing. But I mean, if the wheels do fall off, I mean, wow, it's going to be a thing of beauty.
Mate, the wheels are not coming off, bro. Can you just stop saying that? We'll be absolutely fine. No, we've got double game week next. We've got Wolves next. That'll be 4-0. So we'll be back in business before you know it.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Keep that lip to yourself. So yeah, we'll get into. I'll tell you what softened the blow, mate, was the assistant manager chip from Moisey.
Oh yeah, you played a binder. I mean, look, do you know what? In hindsight, like a triple captain this week with Mo Salah was scored over 100 points on his own, pretty much.
Yeah.
And if you'd played Moyes, well, triple captain last week, and then Moyes, or like the assistant manager this week. Oh, you'd be in the money.
It's quite funny. In my lads' mini league, right? Everybody got over 100 points apart from one guy who didn't have Salah, and he got 41 points. Everyone else got over 100. He's like, I'm so glad this game week's finally come to an end. I'm just broken. And he transferred in Mo last night as well. I was like, oh.
He's been like just run to the middle side. It's not just a double game week. It's a double game week that's lasted forever.
Right, let's get cracking. Hey,
Go on,
before we move on, we've had our researchers do a little bit of work for us, and they've told us that actually, you guys, the listeners and the viewers, are more likely to give us a 5-star rating review before you actually hear our content. They find that when you hear the content, you tend not to want to give us 5 stars anymore. So, with that in mind, why don't you do it now? Will and I, we're going to pause the show here, and then we'll be here when you get back. Go. Write whatever you want. Give us a 5-star rate. You could say, they've kidnapped my wife and they made me do it. It's fine. But just Pop back here after. We'll be here. Off you go.
Off you pop. All right. Hi, Tom.
They're gone?
I think they're gone.
Cool. How are you, mate? So you said you're baking at the moment. What have you been baking?
Oh yeah, I've started a sourdough starter. It's excellent. I would go and get it, but I don't think we've got time. But
I mean, how long does it take to write a review? Might have time. No, leave it.
no, better not. Just in case they come back and I'm not here, it's a bit weird. But yeah, no, it's good. So I love it. I'm becoming a baker. You know, with my ADHD and my hyperfixation on little individual things, building a watch and then sourdough starter. I mean, I'm living life right now.
How many loaves you bake in a week?
2. And I'm giving one away.
That sounds like a waste. What, you're wasting 50%? You're giving it away to? Chicks.
Friends.
Chicks. Just out on the front doorstep. Just like,
yeah.
try my buns.
Yeah, no, it's good, mate.
Yeah.
It's good.
And your hair?
Do you reckon they're back yet?
Not yet.
you
Not
back
yet. No, I
yet?
don't know.
No.
Your hair looks nice. Oh, they're coming back. Hi, welcome back. I told you we'd still be here. Thank you for that. Much appreciated, guys. Super helps us out with algorithms and whatnot. On today's show, we will be touching a little bit more on the game at Goodison last night, the impact it has on the assistant managership. Arnie Slot got sent off, which we'll come back to because I've got some beef about that. We'll talk about the FA Cup a little bit. Some big guns went out, which again has impacts on the blanks or not so blanks in 34 and whatnot. We'll be talking through our teams ahead of Game Week 25. We'll touch on the team takedown, and then we'll be finishing the show with a bit of footballer 20 questions. This week it is my turn to guess, which I'm very much looking forward to. Yeah, all right, let's kick off.
So, final scores of Game Week 24.
Hit me, Will. How'd you get on? What happened?
Well, yeah, so it's not bad luck from last week. It was sort of 98 or whatever, and then with Slot and an extra 5 points from Slot and an extra however many points Mo scored, I got 123 points in total, which sounds great. But everyone apart from your mate, apart from your mate who scored 48. Yeah, I mean, Mo Salah with a 58-point haul on the captain is absolutely huge. The only stinger is the same as last week, was Munoz for 11 points on the bench. But yeah, 123
nice, mate.
Went up to sort of like overall rank of like 2.5. Still bang average. I think I'm aiming for, if I get into like the top mil this season, that's the best I'm going to do.
I think if you can break into the top mil from where you are at this stage, that'll be bloody amazing. I mean, mate, I'm not much better, but I did get 131 points this week.
Yes.
In no short measure down to a little bit of Moyes magic. 22 points from the first week of the assistant manager chip. Lovely jubbly. Thank you to the Messiah, the Messiah. I don't know. Thank you to David Moyes. Yeah. I had a sneaking suspicion.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David, for your hard work. We had a sneaky suspicion that there was going to be an upset at Goodison, and there was.
Yeah.
My, what a goal from Tarkowski. Jesus Christ. Like, I couldn't, obviously I was livid, but I was kind of like, bloody hell, what a hit, mate. What a hit. My mates in the lads group, they were like, this times like this, we miss Andy Gray. Oh, what a hit, son.
Yeah.
I mean, Ali McCoy is not bad at all, but that was a proper... it was another throwback, mate, that game, to like the old school. We had a couple recently with like the Arsenal-City rivalry. I'm loving it. Mm-hmm. The spicy games. Really like a throwback to the kind of 90s, noughties matchups we used to get. It's fantastic.
Mate. I love it. That's my type. And Rio was loving it in the commentary. He was like, not that we're saying that you guys should get this fired up, this rowdy, but it is good. Yeah. We're all feeling the same. We were like, yes.
He was getting well into it when he was talking about, I don't want to see Virgil's lovely gelled hair slick back. I want it over his face. I want scratches behind his ears. It's like, go on, Rio. But it all boiled over at the end. There were 3 red cards after the final whistle. Decore started giving it to the Liverpool fans. Curtis Jones saw what was going on, bowled straight over. He was having none of it. Started having little fisticuffs, handbags. They both got sent off. And then Slot needlessly came over and started giving it to Michael Oliver with a bit of a sarky handshake. He was a bit like, it was a bit shaky hand, man. Do you remember that guy? He just wouldn't let go of his hand.
He really, you could see it from the original camera angle when it first happened. I was like, he's really tucked him in there and like brought him in and been like, obviously when game mate. Like, and then they all really went and like didn't have control over the game, blah blah blah. But yeah, whatever he said, the ref was having absolute none of it and was like, right, you're off. But yeah, that was stupid.
So we're without slot for the next game against Wolves. But if you've got your assistant manager, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He'll still be there for you guys. Don't worry about getting any deducted points. Don't worry that he's not going to be managing the game. He'll still be there for you, picking up points. I mean, what a cock-up from FPL. Like, how have they let that happen? It's ridiculous. What's the point in calling it assistant manager chip? Just call it Liverpool. Just call it Bournemouth. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's ridiculous. What's the point? It's like, that just seems like a massive cock-up.
Oh, well, shut up, Tom. Who cares? Just because you picked. If it was the other way around, you'd be there going, I really don't see the big deal. They quite clearly put it in the rules beforehand. It's there in black and white. They did think about it. But just because you've got David, your mate David, as your arse man,
not anymore.
You're
not
like,
anymore, son.
Oh, hello! Straight in.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But no, look, I totally agree. I think it's stupid because like, I actually agree with you. I'm like, if you've got an assistant manager, it should be yellow card, red card. You should have points deducted.
It's just like
simple science.
It's just this. It's one rule for the managers, different rule for players. Like it should be the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do agree.
So anyway, I'm bitter that we're not going to have slot for the next game, which is going to be a shame because it is, as you rightly said, it's an important time for us and we need him on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. Jones is now suspended as well, so it's just a bit rocky, a bit ropey, but we'll be right.
Do you like Jones?
Love it.
As a person. Do you like him? Do you like him as a person? Would you say that he's a nice guy?
He seems like a good laugh.
I think he looks very punchable.
Got a punchable face.
I bet he's a legend.
I think he's got a good reputation around the dressing room. He's a good lad.
Of course,
good laugh.
Glad he does. Right.
So
what's next?
Just going back to, as I said, I had Moyes as assistant manager.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Yes. Not anymore. So next up, guys, let's start talking about Game Week 25, shall we? I mean, let's not beat about the bush.
Come on.
The deadline is tomorrow.
At 6:30, is it? Let's check. Let's double check.
I've not gone slots because I had triple Liverpool. I've got Trent, who came on last night, so he should be good for the next game. You hope he'd start against Wolves, gets 60 minutes. Got Mo, and I've got Gakpo. I'm going to keep my triple Liverpool, and I've already got... So the two teams who are doubling, let's just remind everyone, Liverpool and Aston Villa. I've got Rodgers of Villa, and now I've got Unai Emery as my manager. So that is now 5 doublers. It's just an easy way to get an extra doubler in. And also, those teams are obviously, they are blanking in game week 29. So the fact that I'm bringing in Emery, I don't have to worry about getting him out by 29 because he'll be gone anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like a player that I've got to get off the books. So yeah. Just saying. What's your thoughts? So you had slot. I guess you're just going to stick with him.
I'm just going to stick with him. I don't need to burn a transfer. Like against Wolves is fine. I could try it and go to Emery or whatever. I just don't think there's any need. Wolves is a decent fixture. I'm just gonna put my hand up to one thing.
Go on.
Rodgers is on 8 yellow cards.
Yes.
So if he gets another yellow card this week, and then he gets another one in 26, then he could potentially be out for game 27, 28, and 29. Because it's 2 games when you get to 10 yellow cards.
Fair. But, as I was saying, if you've got Villa assets at 29, they're going to blank. So, I think
but that's what I mean. 7, 28.
But you need to be looking at chopping them out. I think basically after double game week, you're going to start getting rid of your Villa assets for 29, unless you're free hitting. And again, that also you might be able to just hold on to your Villa assets if you're free hit.
Who's still got their free hit? That's ridiculous. Everyone's played their free hit. Anyway, right, what am I doing? I am going to. I've got transfers still coming out my behind. I think I'm going to start moving away from my Liverpool assets, and I've still got. But not just yet, because you guys have got a good run of fixtures. But this week,
You're not getting rid of them this week, mate, for a double.
Not absolutely not. But I'm going to get rid. I think I'm going to get rid of Ahmad. But I've got to start looking at my Newcastle assets, because I've got 3 Newcastle assets, as we've discussed. They blank. Also in 29, and so I am going to. But I want to keep them for City, because City are just. City are City at the moment. They threw away the Champions League against Real Madrid in the midweek. They're still struggling, even with their 1,000 new players that they've managed to bring in January. How, I don't know. Not bitter in the slightest, and this easy FA Cup draw. They are. So I'm going to keep my Newcastle players. So this week, I think I'm just going to go Ahmad to Kluivert.
Yeah.
Because Bournemouth are tidy.
They are, mate.
And the toss-up, the only question mark is Kluivert over Semenyo. They're so level. Semenyo's obviously more expensive. Kluivert's more expensive now. Semenyo's cheaper. Kluivert's on pens. I could go on. I'm boring myself already. Kluivert is probably who I'm going to go for.
Yeah. So I had 3 free transfers this week. Obviously, I've told you about one, which is my manager transfer. I've used my other 2. And I have got rid of 2 Newcastle assets. I've got rid of those lads because I'm with you, and I wouldn't have minded holding on to them for Man City, because, as we know, Man City are leaky, to say the least. But I've brought them in for 2 Bournemouth players, because Bournemouth's fixtures: Southampton this week, then Wolves, then Brighton, then Spurs. And then in 29, they don't blank. They're playing against Brentford. So they're a good team to target for short term. So I've taken out Jacob Murphy, and I've bought in Dango Ouattara. And then I've taken out Lewis Hall, and I've bought in Huijsen. So they're in just because it's like, Hall is an easy sell, because there's every chance Man City will score a goal. So that's done, and it's 2 players that I needed to get out by 29, because, guys, once again, the guys who are likely to blank, we know that Liverpool and Villa are blanking, and it's 99% sure that Newcastle and Crystal Palace will be blanking as well. So you do need to get those guys off your books unless you're going to free hit. Which brings me, actually, we did have a question we had what's becoming the weekly question from Phil. Philly 1, who's a regular on the show. He got in touch. He said, okay, be patient. Everyone keeps saying double game week this, double game week that. Everyone seems to know what they should be doing, but I have no clue. What teams should I focus on for game week 25 and beyond, including the blank weeks? And then he swore again at the end. Phil, we're trying to clean up our act, right?
We're trying to keep it clean, because there's kids listening, man. And do you know what? The effing and jeffing is just unnecessary, isn't it, Thomas?
It is. Unless your team concedes like a last-minute equaliser, and then they just fly out.
Like if you're a City fan.
Good question, Phil. I'm sorry that you are struggling. And I mean, mate, right? Let me put it down brass tacks for you. In the future, beyond game week 29, I'm not going to go into detail, but we're expecting a double game week 33. We're expecting a slightly blank game week 34, and perhaps another double game week in 36. As to how many doubles and blanks, that's still up in the air. We don't know. If you want more specifics, go talk to Ben Crellin. Go talk to James at Planet FBL. They go into much more detail about probability and whatnot, about who's going to be doing what. We're not going to do that, right? We ain't got time.
We're not going to do that. Can I just put one little thing in there? Like Ben Crellin, respect all of these people. The stats, they're so good
Gurus.
At all these things. And Ben Crellin, these absolute gurus. One thing I've always think about was you've quite kindly, Tom, put the put the table that Ben Quillen does on in our script, so it's nice and clear that I could look at. And every time I look at this table and all of the fixture difficulty rating thing, I go, God, that must be an absolute pain in the ass for people that are colourblind. I'm like, you haven't got a chance. Like, you've got to check it out. We'll put it up on the screen for people watching.
It's true fact.
Yeah, it is hard. It's
also,
just greys and different browns.
Respect, honestly, because if you're on Fantasy Football Hub, you can download his Excel document, the Excel document that this is compiled in, and it's made up of numerous sheets. And my God, it's a big old spreadsheet. Like, it's a lot of work.
It's wild.
Yeah, honestly, it's impressive.
It is.
Respect to Ben Quillen. But so Phil, what I'd say is, because we don't know, obviously save your chips. I remember you bench boosted last week, a week before, I think. So that's unfortunate. Yeah. But to summarise, what we're thinking at the moment is game week 33 is probably the biggest of the double game weeks. Game week 36 might not have that many doublers. Game week 29 might end up being quite. We know is that's 4 teams blanking. Game week 34 is looking less blank because so many of the big hitters have gone out of the FA Cup. It might not be so bad. We don't know yet. It might be bad. We'll see. We just don't know, Phil. So what I'd say in the short term is make a decision about 29, right? You know those 4 teams aren't playing. How's your team looking now? Do you want to get those players off your books before you get to 29, or do you want a free hit if you still got a free hit? And that will tell you what you want to do, because you could be like, look, I'm going to get in triple Liverpool and triple Villa, but then you've got to get rid of them by 29. So just start on game week 29, work backwards, the end. Right, moving on.
Love it. Nice one, Tom.
Thanks, mate. What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
What transfers are you not? So you're not going to make transfers of your Newcastle assets? You're taking Ahmed out.
I think I'm going to go Ahmed. I mean, listening to what you've just said, though, I was just looking at the fixtures and I was like, oh, maybe I've got my options. I've got my standard template, which I'm like, option 1, option 2, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, maybe I take out a Hall early, maybe not. I'm not going to take out Isak for the whole time. I'm leaving Isak on the bench.
Same.
I might even leave Gordon on the bench as well. So in actual fact, it's just Hall. Oh, and Munoz. So yeah, Munoz is going to go as well. Yeah, sorry, that's the only person that I'd probably reluctantly get rid of and then want to get back in. But Crystal Palace's run kind of comes to a soft end. Not too they've got Southampton, Leicester. So he'll be the last one to go because Southampton, Leicester, I want him for those. No doubt.
They haven't got Everton.
Oh, sorry, no.
Because I was going to bring this up actually, because I thought it was quite interesting. Is the most transferred in players this week, right? As we talked about, Bournemouth are high on the hit list. We got Kluivert's the most transferred in. Then Chris Wood after his hat trick last week. Got Kirkes, Rodgers because he's doubling this week. You got Mbumo because Brentford's run is good. Then you got Mateta, right, and Semenyo. But Mateta, obviously people are bringing him in because he's in form at the moment, and his run seems like it's decent. But Everton at home, not easy. Fulham away, not easy. Villa at home, not easy. Then you've got Ipswich at home, which is fine. But then they're blanking after that. So a lot of people bringing them in. And I think unless maybe those guys are free hitting in 29, it's not like he's not appealing to bring in this week for me.
No. I agree.
So I thought it was interesting. Just thought I'd mention it. Have you thought much about who you're going to use your assistant manager on for the final week, the third week?
The third week, I must admit, I was like, oh right, so because of the double game week for that double game week, I'm like, Arnie's done. Surely he's done by now. But of course he's not done. He's only done 1 game week so far. And I'm just so all over the place. But yeah, it's a really good point because I actually haven't even thought about it. But I might just leave it because of the extra game week, the extra transfer, and the fact that I do have more important fish to fry with the transfers. I'll probably just leave it. Slot, Liverpool. I know I could make some points up. I get that. But
I mean, all I will say was leaving it would be leaving it against Man City would be the only thing.
I don't hate it. I
No,
just don't hate it.
no.
Like I don't see you
If anything,
losing
it's just
that game.
showboating. It's like, yeah, just gonna leave it, mate.
But I know. I mean, the point being is you want to transfer it in, obviously, as we all know, to if like with the David Moyes potentially getting a good
League
victory
bonus,
against
little league bonus.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Then sure, you're really gonna get an extra 10 points, and 10 points is nothing to be sniffled at. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know. Like if you're going for the more slam dunks, I don't know. You got Arsenal, like West Ham against Arsenal could be interesting because Arsenal are depleted. It's a London derby. There's always upsets going on there. Like that, obviously, that would be a table bonus if West Ham could get that done. But otherwise, you're kind of just looking at dead certs, I think, for this last week. Spurs have got Ipswich, mate. Ange Postecoglou. Discuss. Like, mate, we love Ange. Everyone loves Ange.
We do.
And I thought his rant at the end of the last game was totally fair to a degree. Like he's like the players that he is without is mental.
It's mad.
He's like I've not had these players for the last 2.5 months. It's been a nightmare. Like, yes, it has. But mate, I think you're lucky, bro, that you didn't have those players because if he had those players, right, the run that he's been on, it's actually quite tricky. Like, I reckon if he had those players, he still would have lost those games and he'd be out of a job. I think he's actually bloody lucky. And like before those last 2.5 months, they weren't that great, man. Do you know what I mean? Like they had a terrible end to last season. I just think he's reaching, man. He's reaching.
It is that. Like the thing is, he made his bed last season where he said in the second season I win a cup, and they're not even close. And they've got a very expensive stadium and a very expensive amount of players on their books. And yes, they've had shitload of injuries, like tons, and I get it. But I'll tell you who else why he's lucky. He's lucky because he's Australian and we for some reason just like him. And two, he's lucky that United are doing so badly and taking some of the limelight away from... Because they're worse than us to a certain degree. Like, we changed our manager, they didn't. That's the difference. But the thing is also, he's just losing his cool. Like, he's losing... like, it's just the same...
That's the big thing for me. We've spoken about it before. Like, he's not like an inspirational leader. Like when he comes out after and he's got his head down, he can't look the interviewer in the eye, and it's just a mess. Like you don't, as a player, you don't look at that going, "Yes, I'm buzzing for the next game. Everything's going to be all right." I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy's a mess, man. And the Spurs fans have started calling him the Brisbane Barry Evans. Have you seen that? I was like, that's harsh, that's very harsh. But, I mean.
The Brisbane Barry
I just think he needs to sort himself out. I think he can't just blame it on injuries. Yes, he's definitely got a point, but his demeanour should be much better. But yeah, just on that run, like the last 2.5 months, right, that he's lost. Obviously, there was Leicester, then there was Everton, but then there was Arsenal, Newcastle, Forest, Liverpool, Chelsea, Bournemouth. I think even with the players, he's losing those games. Do you know what I mean? So I think he's actually lucked out by not having the team, and he's got an out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's such a good shout. Like he is a lucky boy, but I mean he will get. Surely they leave him until the end of the season. But if they don't have their, I mean, what does their run look like coming up? I haven't actually seen it.
Let me tell you, Will. Next up, mate. They got Man United. Then it's Ipswich, which is a must-win. Then it's Man City, Bournemouth, Fulham, Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? That's the short term. So really, that could be 3 points in the next 6 games.
I mean, does it get... I mean, look, there are no easy games in the Premier League, as a fine woman once always told us. That it's relentless. Like, okay, God, after Chelsea, you got Southampton, Wolves, Nottingham Forest, Liverpool, West Ham. You might have 2 back-to-back games that you're like, yeah, we should get results out of that, and then directly after that, bang, straight into a mix.
Do you think though, if you still got your assistant manager chip, Spurs are one to keep an eye on for a new manager bounce if he goes?
True, or if when they've those little fixtures where they are nice, like
Yeah.
could he
After
sneak?
Chelsea, Southampton, Wolves, Forest.
Well, I was
Suddenly,
thinking more. I was thinking more Chelsea, Southampton, Wolves, because Chelsea. I just feel like
yeah.
that's a better game than Forest for me.
Chelsea are struggling. They're stumbling. Everyone's stumbling. No one wants it this year. Do you know what I mean? City, Arsenal are obviously highly depleted. But
Liverpool throwing it away. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
mate, we're not throwing it away. We're gonna be fine.
See, when we saw goodbye to the quad was just out the window again.
That was a shame. I was gutted about it. Slot was pissed off. I think Slot was still cheesed off about losing to Plymouth. He said Plymouth really hurt.
For sure.
Anyway.
I mean, come on. Right. Yeah. So anyway, back to 20. I was just looking through the the fixtures for the last assistant manager. Do you know what? As you said, the West Ham Arsenal game is.
It's a shout.
It's a really good shout, mate. I really like that. Or do you go for the Ipswich Tottenham? That is. But apart from those two, I don't. All the rest of them are. Tricky.
Well, I mean, at the moment we're still targeting Leicester, aren't we? So you could go Brentford as an option, or so if you want to be daring, wouldn't mind a bit of Southampton against Brighton. Local derby, Southampton playing better. They picked up their first win, didn't they, under the new manager recently? So
I would be up for I know I said I'd probably just leave it, but I wouldn't mind a cheeky little risky one.
I'm all about the punt, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it did well for you. For you this week.
Hopefully, although I've gone Emery, I kind of hope it doesn't happen again because that means we'll drop points. Liverpool drop points against Villa.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Captain choice, Mo Salah doubling. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
The only one coming close to contention would have been Ollie Watkins, but we're not even certain that he's fit. So
we're not sure.
It's Salah. I mean, his captain's going to be 100%, especially now my man in the mini league has actually bought him. Shout out to Big Sam.
Before, instead of it was 99.99%, it's now going to be 100.
Yeah, and for those who have been listening to the pod for a while, the manager in question's name is Big Sam, and he won.
This is Big Sam.
No, he came last year. He came last year, but he was top at Christmas. But it's all falling apart. Anyway, so let's
Liverpool by any chance?
No, don't. QPR fan, isn't he?
Oh, fair.
Which I know is close to your heart. Closer to your house than Man United, as it happens as well. Right, let's go to the teen takedown.
Oh, do we have to?
We do, mate, because we've got a player that needs to be transferred out. Unfortunately, we don't have transfers to burn. We could have done with attacking this because Spike's running away with it. But yeah, Kirkez is now over 10% owned, so we're gonna have to chop him out.
Who are you thinking then, Pickle?
Well, as we mentioned earlier, Bournemouth run's really good. So I'm thinking just doing a like for like and just going down to Huijsen.
Yeah.
Just because Bournemouth's good. We're for going towards 29. So we've got Munoz would need to go. We've got Botman would need to go. We've got Mateta and we've got Eze. We've got time. And we've still got our chips intact, apart from assistant manager. We used our assistant manager this week, sorry. So we got 80 points this week. Spike smashed it again, didn't he? I don't know what he actually landed on in the end.
He did really well. He did. He got 128 points.
But does he even know, he never gets in touch. Does he even know that we're even still playing this? Could we just, not do this feature anymore and then get away with it?
It's funny you said that. Because he sent us a message.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, I've not listened to it yet. I've actually not listened to it.
I was really hoping that we could just slip out without anyone knowing, just keep our dignity intact.
No, not even a little bit. He got in touch because he was like, save this. He went, save this for the pod. You'll like this. Hang on, let me just grab it.
All right, you Pillocks. Just had a little check on the team takedown and had a look at your team. He kind of cheating. I checked your assistant manager, Arnie Slot. He's got 45% owned. 45, that is quite a lot over 10%. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because you're just getting railed. Simply, just like bent over, railed. You may as well give up at this point. But yeah, peace.
Mate, that guy. Right. First of all, 47% owned. I did not know that.
I mean, that is a lot over 10%. He is right.
But mate, managers don't count. I mean, you
Just
know,
like-
when we bought him in, it was under 10% owned. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
just like yellow and red cards, who, whatever.
It's a grey area.
It's grey.
Area. When we laid these rules out, Spike, we didn't even know there was an assistant manager chip. And I mean, you know,
Right.
So just back off.
Anyway.
just back off.
Anyway, look, to be fair.
and I mean, look, how far are we behind?
So bad. Like, he's on overall, he's on 1,370 points, which is rubbish, by the way, in real world terms. And we're on... I mean, look, it doesn't matter what we're on.
No, it doesn't matter. The main thing is that we can turn this around. And you know what, Spike? You're rude. I'll tell you what, we should just remind everyone, because I'm sure there's hundreds of people listening to the show. They're like, what the hell is going on now?
Yeah.
And so, guys, this is the team takedown, right? Spike is Will's 15-year-old nephew, right? And he came at us early on in the season and laid down the gauntlet, threw down the gauntlet and said, look, I'll take you on. And we said, no. Well, then we said, yeah, we will. But we'll do it with a differential team, because that's the lovely guys we are. As a result of that, he's got a great team. We're battling, and he's ahead like 150 points roughly at the moment. So that was Will's nephew. I'm trying to sum him up without swearing. It's really difficult. He's just a cheeky little lad, and we're going to get you, Spike. Just wait. We've still got time left, and I'm pretty sure, as you rightly said, Will, he played his bench boost this week. He's chucking his chips away left, right, and centre. So we've still got some ammo in the bank. Just you wait. So yeah, we'll make a transfer. Do we consider changing slot next week? No, probably not. Look, we've made our bed, Spike. All right,
Nah,
managers is just gonna allow it. All right.
Absolutely. Good.
Cool.
I mean, look, we can nail it. We'll nail him. And oh god, he is bigger than us though.
Okay, that'll do for FPL, won't it? Should we finish the show with a bit of footballer 20 questions, guys? Don't know about you. I'm excited.
Let's do this. So this is actually one that has been suggested by our one and only listener watcher, Phil. Phil won.
Let's get it on.
Okay.
Number 1.
Question 1.
Does he have brown hair? I'm changing my tact this week.
Yeah, no, fair. I mean, yeah, I would say. I'm just looking at. Yeah, let's go with brown.
Great. Excellent.
Dark brown.
Tick. Okay. Is he still playing football, Will?
I'm going to check that for you, Thomas. He is currently playing football.
Okay. Has he played for a top 6, including Tottenham team?
Yes.
Has he played for more than one top 6 team?
No.
Okay, cool. And then...
I can hear her. She needs to pack it in.
Do you know who that was?
Charlotte.
No, it wasn't. It was Google.
She needs to pack it in.
She does. She went, Tom, I've just connected to Wi-Fi.
As you
Thank
were.
you, Google. Is this player still... this is a wasted question, I think. Okay, has this player played for a top 6 Premier League team in the last 5 years?
No.
Cool. Has he been in the Premier League in the last 5 years?
No.
When he did play in the Premier League for a top 6 team, was it a northern team in the shape of Liverpool, Man City, Man United?
Nope.
Did he play for Arsenal or Chelsea?
Nope.
Oh,
How many questions you had?
that is 8 questions.
Well, you're rattling through them.
And, yeah, but I think I've just cracked the team because that only leaves Spurs in the top 6. Because, just to confirm, I'm not asking anything, Will. We're saying that he's played for a top 6 team, including Spurs, and we said he didn't play for Liverpool, Man City or Chelsea. Or, no, Liverpool, Man City or Man United, and he didn't play for Arsenal or Chelsea, leaving only Tottenham. Is all of that accurate as to what's happened so far, William?
I blacked out. I wasn't listening just then. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I was going to applaud you on your question taking questions. Full stop.
And he's got brown hair. Right.
Oh, Tottenham player with brown hair. Trick. I think you got it.
Is he from any of the European countries, including any of the European countries, including and in addition to England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland?
And Cornwall.
Sure. Is he from one of them?
No.
Did this gentleman play in defence?
It's a really good question, but no, he didn't.
That's 10.
That's half.
Can I have a free question, just out of curiosity? If you were to rate this difficulty out of 10.
Oh, okay.
How would you feel?
I would say this is like a solid 6.
Oh, okay, gettable.
Very gettable, and like for someone of your vast knowledge of football, like you got this.
Okay, right. Thank you for that knowledge. That free question. Can I ask, when has he played for? Has he had more appearances than he did for Spurs for another Premier League team? So has he played more games for another Premier League team than he did for Tottenham Hotspur?
Yes, let's just say yes.
Okay. And then, is he a striker?
No.
Okay, so he's midfielder. Is this person from South America?
No.
Is this person from the continent of Africa?
Yes.
Okay. So that's 14 questions so far. Has he played for another London club?
Yes.
Would you say he was an attacking-minded midfielder?
Yeah.
So it's another London team. Was the other London team Fulham?
He has played for Fulham. It's getting juicy now. This is the part which we know where everything gets a little bit tense.
This is the part that we call panic stations.
Yeah. The thing is I get all clammy at this point too. Like, even when I'm not doing it. When I'm doing it, I have to have a shower after this show when I'm doing 20 questions.
African Fulham and Spurs, midfielders, attacking minded. Has he played for more than 3 Premier League teams?
Yeah.
Really? That's 18.
Oof.
Oh no, Will. I'm struggling. Just see if I can get another team. So apart from Fulham and Spurs, is there another team that he's appeared for a substantial amount that I'm missing here?
Yeah.
Is the other team that he's played for Newcastle or Crystal Palace?
No.
Right, well, mine's going blank of any African attacking midfielders. I'm having a nightmare. Okay. Did he play for West Ham?
No.
So that's all my questions done.
Okay.
Oh no! No, William! No! I thought I was going to have it. I thought I had him. Not defensive, attacking midfielder, African, played for Fulham, played for Spurs. He's played for more than 3 Premier League teams. And I cannot think of anybody. Alright, I'm done. I'm out. I've got nothing.
Okay. I'm going to strip feed you some stuff. He's the same age as me, 35. And he's still technically playing, but he's playing in the Saudi leagues. His one of his main clubs, which wasn't the main club he played for, was Benfica, with 79 appearances and 2 goals in the season between 2015 and 2022. He's from Morocco, so North African.
Stop. Don't tell me. It's Tarat.
Correct.
Oh,
He's
Tarat.
your friend of mine. Adel Tarat, what an absolute baller. Like, honestly, if you'd have asked the previous question, is this guy an absolute legend? Without doubt, my answer would have been like, and I wouldn't have been able to hold back. I would have been like, this guy is an absolute legend because the streets have never forgotten him. He is one of the original ballers. Played for QPR for a huge amount of time. Had a small loan spell at Tottenham, which is the one that the curveball at the beginning. QPR on loan, then 109 appearances for QPR, who were in the Premier League at the time, 26 goals. He went on loan to Fulham, back into the Premier League from 2013 to 2014. He then went to AC Milan on loan, where he played for 14 games, then Benfica. He now plays in the Saudi team, which I can't pronounce, but he played for Al Nassr for quite a while. He is, of course,
Adel Tarat. Mate, that's a good one. That is a good one. Thank you, Phil.
Philly,
that was good.
Solid work, my friend.
Yeah.
So if you guys look how well Phil's done there. He's got Tom's little pants and he's pulled them down. He's giving it a little on the bottom. Unlucky Tom. That's 1-0 Phil. So if you guys have got any... It's gettable, because if you...
Mate, this game is so hard. Guys, let me know. Listen to the show and let me know if you got that after the 20 questions, if he was on your radar. I mean, I tried to narrow it down as best as I could, guys. All right? There was a lot of African players to get through. Yeah. The overlap between Fulham and Spurs was a tricky overlap to connect those dots.
That was the killer question, man, because...
If I'd have managed to dig out QPR, it would have been game over.
Gone.
Yeah.
Well done, Thomas. Unlucky, my friend.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Will. Well done, guys. We're good at this game. So enjoy game week 25, everyone. That brings the show to an end. Hey, follow us at Tom and Will FPL. Like and subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. Thanks very much for the reviews on Spotify and Apple. Really appreciate that.
Yeah,
thanks. Lovely of you to do that. Love you loads. Peace out. Good luck.